You're just tuning into the station right now. We have live with us in-house Pony Girl, 3 members of Pony Girl. So welcome. It's so great to have you here. For the benefit of listeners who are new to your music, could you introduce yourselves and share the instruments you play and your role in the band?
Hi, I'm Yolande, and I play clarinet and I sing in the band.
My name's Pascal. I sing and I also play guitar.
I am Julian, and I play guitar.
There's also Gregory Clark, who plays bass. Jeff Kingsbury on the drums, and Mitch Cusino on the keys.
Awesome. So at the outset, I said welcome, but maybe really I should have said welcome back. That's because I understand that some, if not all, members of Pony Girl were students at the University of Ottawa. Can you tell us a little bit about that, those years, so to speak, and what were you studying and how did you meet?
Yeah, we're
5 out of 6.
Yeah, exactly. 5 out of 6 of us, and it's funny. Some of us are music students. Some of us I did business. Some of us are in film studies, communication. So yeah, it's all a big mix. So, but it was great. This is a place where we all met, right? So it was nice.
Yeah, we were actually thinking about that walking here today. We're like, oh, we don't miss this place at all. But then we're like, oh shit, if we had never came here, we would never met. So that's it. That's why it's good.
I knew some of the boys from before, but Gregory Clark actually asked me to play in the band in Cafe Alt, so that was pretty fun.
So when you arrived, apart from the 2 of you that are music students, you had other ambitions, other intentions, and if someone had told you back in those days that you were going to be part of a band, you would have said, or were you kind of looking for that in hindsight? Do you think there was a part of you?
I don't know. I think I was in school just because that's what you have to do. Just stereotypically, that's like the next step. Actually, it's not a next step because you're already in school. It's just you have to prolong that for as long as you physically can, apparently. So that was the reason. Yeah, I had different intentions. We all liked music. We all played music. We didn't maybe imagine that we could do it more actively or for large chunks of the year. And so we've been trying that.
With great results. So Pony Girl's a sextet. 6 people. That's a lot of energy, ideas, talents merging into one band. Like, how does that work? You have your different backgrounds, your different experiences, and...
Yeah, and also all 6 of us have different musical backgrounds, not just backgrounds in studying and stuff. So, yeah, some of us are more classical, some of us more jazz, some of us more folk. Some of us just listen to a bunch of music. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting to have 6 people that are so different all in one setting and trying to create music together. But it's also kind of the challenge makes the music better, I think. It's kind of... I'll come up with something, and then someone with a completely different background will look at it and just have a completely different perspective on it, and will introduce their own ideas into it, and it just grows and flourishes in this thing that I couldn't even imagine before, right? So,
totally. Like when I look at some of the instruments that were used in your most recent album, the flugelhorn.
Oh yeah, we love Chuck Mangione.
Yeah, like that's awesome. It creates such a beautiful sound and a different textured, richer layer. Yep. So curious to know, what were your earliest musical influences? I love to ask people, what did you listen to as a kid growing up? Or what was playing around you when you're growing up, even before you had a chance to say, this is what I want to hear? What was being fed into your brain?
I started out with classical piano, so I had the presets on my piano, and I listening to that when I was 6 years old.
Oh, nice.
And my parents loved Celine Dion, so I grew up in a very French household, so listened to a lot of French radio and Celine. I love her.
I listened to a lot of English progressive rock, and on the weekends some Bob Marley. From my dad, some metal, 80s metal. He loves metal.
Yeah. On the weekend?
Yeah. Saturday or Sunday on the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know why on the weekend. I don't know what he was doing.
And yeah, it's the same for me, a lot of prog rock. And then that evolved into me really liking jazz, because I felt like prog rock kind of took a lot from jazz and blended it with rock. So those were the styles I really enjoyed.
Well, that's interesting to hear. And of course, there's 3 other people who would have their own
completely
thing
different
to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I hear it all. I had an opportunity to take a long drive recently, so I had a chance to listen to your album very deeply. And like, there's blues, there's jazz, there's tech. At least in my ears, I would say there's very classical pieces on that album and some bluesy funk. And then there's like a coffee house acoustic set and Demon Dream. At least that's how it comes across to me. So you're doing a great job merging so many styles and coming up with a really unique sound. What are you listening to these days? What do musicians listen to when they're not working?
It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Pardon?
It's gonna be fun.
I'm completely obsessed with Braids right now. I love their sound.
Yeah, they're great for sure.
I almost exclusively listen to hip hop.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, same here. A lot of hip hop. Also electronic music. It's
yeah.
There's so many. I think back in the 80s, 90s, when electronic music was getting more popular, there weren't as many possibilities with electronic music, but now it's just endless, and some artists are just making the craziest stuff, and it's really cool to see.
Well, so now we've explored a little bit about your past. Do you feel like playing something? You brought some instruments. Maybe we could have a little bit more taste of your music.
Yeah. We're going to start with Theo, which is a song that I wrote for my good friend's first child, who's also named Theo, coincidentally.
Son, this song will raise the dead, the spectacle. Oh my, 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 how will you learn to love? It's not easy, you know, without a struggling heart. I can only wish you the best of rest when you finally wake. Remember those you forget. He who tempts the jaws, misguided, lost, quickly redeems the guilt of using those you love. Take it from me, you're not alone. No, home is where you're happy. Were never born, no, they never were born. They were made to control us. Look up to me, they say, you don't need no reason not to believe. Aren't we great? Aren't they stupid? There's no shame. Pride can't wash dried blood stains, mark our borders, spray the rain, won't whitewash the pain. child's misguided lost quickly redeems the guilt of using those you love. Take it from me, you're not alone. No, home's where you're happy. Candy coated red is over time. Theo, don't fear the thought of losing those you love. Fright will twist your bones, blinding outside. All that there's left to do is remember.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
I'm sure people have said you were born to sing together. So,
No.
or at least they've thought
I've
it.
actually never heard that before.
No, it's the first time.
Yeah. Wow. No, your voices complement each other, and the beautiful guitar work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I don't know where to songwriting. You introduced that song. It was inspired by the birth of a friend's child.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can talk about that a little bit, the songwriting aspect of the band's work.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, like what comes first? Is it the lyrics and then the music, the composition?
It depends. I don't think we have a recipe, or maybe we're still looking for it.
Yeah,
We try
figuring it out
a lot of
as we
different writing approaches. I think it's a lot of the fun for us is the process.
Mm-hmm.
The end result is sometimes a surprise or different than we imagine in our head, and that's okay. It's just trying different approaches to how to write music. So yeah, sometimes it's married to lyrics very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's more of a musical idea that stems from a progression or a melody or something like that. Yeah, so I guess every song has a different sort of approach to how we do it.
And you all have your unique background and take on it. So you riff off each other, I guess, in the creation. That's awesome. So 2 albums already. When did Pony Girl actually form as a band? I don't know that.
I guess
3 years ago?
2012.
Oh,
Well, it was
For
like
sure.
over the summer of 2012. I
Yeah,
think.
that's true.
And then we played our
Oh, yeah.
first show at Cafe Alt actually.
October or
in
November?
November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
November
2012.
2012.
Wow. So that's
Yeah.
not very long.
No.
And you've already put
Not too
together
long.
2 albums. So
Yeah.
bravo. Good
Oh,
on
thank
you.
you.
And this is a pretty prolific record so far. Can we look for something in 2017 by any chance? Or if we,
We've started,
We've started writing a
new
lot of
material
music, so.
actually, already. Yeah, we just it doesn't end.
that's
Uh,
good. Yeah, when
Can't
you're in
stop
it,
it.
you're in it. That's how you groove through the world. Okay.
And I think that the first 2 albums all came through from the same time period. Pascal and I were writing a lot of stuff in 2010 to 2014 or something.
Something
Was a
like that,
big period of we
Yeah.
just wrote so much stuff, and we had maybe, I don't know, 30 or 40 songs just ready to go. And then that's when we were like, okay, what do we do with this? So that's when we decided to do a slightly smaller record first, and then this one second. So we already kind of knew that we were this was like the plan, sort of the long-term plan was to make these 2 albums. And now that that's behind, it feels really good that it's behind, because it was so much work for so long, and now we're finally sort of starting from scratch, and it's not as scary as I thought it would be. It's just really exciting.
It's kind of nice to catch up with your own personal taste. Like that's where
Exactly.
we're kind of writing music now that are closer to where we're at, I think, on different levels. Whereas before, a lot of it was sort of kind of purging a little bit, all this sort of weight, like you kind of put on a lot of weight in different aspects of your life through time, right? Whether it's emotionally or
Sure.
physically or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, life is happening to you.
Exactly.
You are living your
Exactly.
life, and it makes sense that what's coming out is a reflection of what's happening in your life, for sure. So you mentioned a little bit about work, and I volunteering here at the station, being a patron of the arts, going to see shows and stuff, it's kind of opened my eyes to the reality of what it's like to be a musician. You got to haul your equipment around. You got to go places. You got to it's fun because you're doing it because it's fun. But there's composing, there's the live performances, there's recording in studio, there's touring. Like, do you have a favorite and I know the opposite, a least favorite part of the music world so far? Like, what's your absolutely favorite? What keeps you going even though it's hard work?
For me, it's I just love. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't put down on paper or on a record things that just come up to me in musically speaking. It's such a, it's like a cathartic experience for me to like put it out there. It's like feels really good, and if someone's gonna listen to it, that's even better, obviously. But also for me, like I think the number one thing, and it only happens maybe 1 out of 3 shows or something. It's the moment when you're on stage and you can really let go and forget about everything, and it's such a nice high of just playing music loudly and with excitement, and it feels really good, especially when the audience is into it. It's such a special feeling.
That's a charge for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I guess there's a lot of positive elements to it, like Julian is saying. And I don't know how much I can add to that because I feel sort of the same way about it. Yeah, I think it's positive. It's exciting to create something out of nothing. Music, at least for us, starts from a very conceptual place. We rarely, start with concrete things. So we're kind of doing this oil painting or this sort of like sculpting thing where we're just hitting this thing with a hammer and hoping that something will come out. And it's just really noisy the whole time, right? Because you're just banging on this thing. And it looks like crap until you just open your eyes like, okay, like that's not bad. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I personally really enjoy the touring aspect. I know it might seem like a long voyage if you're touring for a whole year, but we've only gone for, I think, max 3 weeks. So, and it's just been really fun to meet a lot of people on the road, and every day is new and it's exciting. And you're playing in a new venue, and there are challenges associated with that, obviously. Like I think in Quebec City, we once played in an old building that used to be a hairdresser school, and it was converted to like just rooms to practice, and then there's like a dungeon kind of basement, and we played there. And
the promoter was just smoking cigarettes in the basement, like. Yeah, and then, but there's an audience.
What was playing? I think Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams was playing on the TV.
Oh my God.
While we were playing
in the background. That was it was interesting.
It was cool because all of Yolan's relatives came out.
Yeah, it was their first time seeing me play, and I just felt, I was like, well, this is not us what we usually look like, but this is here now. So
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
We turned it into something not too bad. Yeah, so that's good.
We turned into a good story.
and it is. So how about another tune? Are you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure, that's good.
You guys want to do Candy?
Yeah, sure. So this one is Candy, and for this song we decided to write a song that had the same verses and chorus. And see how long we could play 3 chords over and over again. That was the challenge.
You say don't worry now, there's nobody else. I wanna feel. Watch how your body and mind collide. Nothing between us, just you and I. Leave the faith that tries to answer. Leave faith in others. Leave the faith that tries to answer. Leave faith in others. I'm a believer, do I get a prize? Transmigration on me and you. I listen as you stare right through me inside. That little black dress, sheer enough to share the line that draws your perfect oscillating shape. Sheer enough to let me wander across your holy state. Can I stay forever? Every day, oh, never leave this place. You say don't stop until I reach the sky. Please keep me up there, please keep me up. Our first communion, both knees on the ground. My host in your care. Without the hands, leave the faith that tries to answer. Leave faith in others. Leave the faith that tries to answer. Leave faith in others. The Eucharist caressing my tongue inside. I'd eat it all day, I'd eat it all. The last meal left you falling so satisfied. No room for candy, just you and I.
So beautiful. Thank you. It's great to have this up close and personal. I wish the listeners could be right in here with us to see, but they will get chances to see you perform. We'll talk about that shortly. There's a video that goes along with that song, which is, was it part of your creative inspiration to come up with the story of the video? You made the video.
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. So we've got videography on your resume as well there. Well, and that was your idea, the whole story of ordering a pizza?
Pretty much. I shared it with other people to get their feedback. But
Sure.
the idea was to just make a video clip that was as mundane as possible. Just like the most mundane thing we could imagine, which is just someone who's really bored at home and wants to order a pizza, and then just kind of playing with expectations a little bit. I think we see a lot of music videos that are sort of, really, really, really like socio-normative, binary, kind of like girl meets guy sort of scenario, which is, the typical run-of-the-mill video. So I wanted to kind of have those expectations there as a viewer, but I wanted to just not give anything to the viewer, just the pizza to the person in the video. That's it. Like, you're not going to get to fulfill that, typical fantasy that you always get to fulfill every day. So hopefully we achieve that, because we're not, we made everything ourselves. So it's it was fun.
Amazing.
It was really fun to make.
That's good. I'm awed. There's the music and then there's the videography. So not everybody can do that. So awesome. Let's try something different now. So maybe you can each have a turn, or one of you can respond. Complete this sentence, which is, when I think of the art scene in Ottawa or Canada, your choice, I think or feel...
That exact. I wasn't thinking. That's actually my answer.
That's
Take your
3
time.
M's
Take
and an
your
H.
In general,
I think
go
family.
ahead.
Actually, I don't know, because everyone we've met seem very helpful and want to participate and collaborate, and Ottawa, I feel like there's just this family. When you go out to a show, you kind of see the same people. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but you kind of create connections with the same people that you see, and it's a way to connect with others, I find.
Yeah, and also I think that there are certain people that their answer to that question is, oh, Ottawa sucks and nothing's happening in Ottawa, and just go to Toronto and just go to Montreal, like so much better there. And my answer to that, and even I've heard the other day I played a show in another project, and this guy came up to me and was like, oh, Ottawa, there's no funding here. And I was like, well, that's like, you're in the capital of Canada. There's plenty of funding here if you're willing to write the grants and work for it. And I think that's my answer to all those people, is just do the work. Like, it takes your stuff needs to be really good before anyone's gonna pay for it, right? So if you're having a hard time with making it as an artist, like, it's a difficult thing to choose. There's so much music. Everyone can make music nowadays. You just gotta work. You just gotta work hard. And that's like,
I think on that topic, if someone is unhappy where they are physically, like, people do create like the scene or whatever you want to call that, like the feeling that there's art or like there's movement happening, and so you need to be active in that. And I feel like most people that are very active in that will usually have a positive kind of outlook on that, because they are
the scene.
They are, exactly. You are the scene, right? So if you're a concert goer or a music maker or whatever, maybe you like to paint or you like to make food, but like it's shaped like little animals. Like, you're the ones who are creating the scene. So you just need to participate, really, and be as active and alive as possible. I don't know what he said.
Little animals.
Little food animals.
Culinary arrangements.
Here's a question that we ask all visitors who we get to interview at the station or outside of the station, and it's about community radio. Do you have any comments or anything that you'd like to share about independent community radio, the role that it's had in your life prior to becoming a musician and part of the band that you are, and where you see the role of community radio present and future?
Well, for
musicians?
me, it was I started listening to community radio when I was in university because that's where I heard about it. I didn't really know much about it before then. And the cool thing about it is it was always, sometimes there were things that were really out there, and that's kind of a good thing. There's things you would never hear on even CBC radio. Like, they're really nice, and I'll play more experimental things, but not quite as liberally as community radio. So it's always neat to tune in and check it out. And also we sent our record to all over Canada. We sent it to all the college radios, like university radio, campus radio. And the cool thing is sometimes it just starts charting at a random place you wouldn't expect, and that's really, really very valuable, because then when you're traveling and you get to that town, then it's
they know about you
there's
already.
Maybe there's like 15 people that they might already really like your record, and they'll come to your show, and like that's such a good start, and maybe they'll tell their friends and etc. Right? So.
Yeah, I mean it's been positive for us. We've done a lot of community radio gig where we try to catch them all whenever we get either an offer or an opportunity to do them. And yeah, like Julian said, it's probably one of the only channels besides CBC that will play us on radio. So that's positive, I think, and it gives a lot of opportunities to other musicians too, and other voices to kind of voice their opinions, even if they're not the most popular.
The voice for the voiceless. We strive to be a voice for the voiceless.
Agreed. It's nice to have the opportunity to actually come here and play today. I mean, it would just be a different path if we wanted to play, more pop music and make it to Hot 99.9 or whatever. Yeah. But it's not really important.
Although we're down,
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Not really.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we should have to sign a little contract. Everything's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'd go for that. I think your music should be heard by the widest audience possible. Oh, wow. So if that's what it takes, maybe that's what it has to be. 2 shows coming up for you. Do you want to talk about the Black Sheep?
Yes. We are playing April 30th at the Black Sheep Inn with Paper Beat Scissors, who is fronted by Tim, who's a really lovely musician that we met 2 weeks ago with Michael Forestack in Montreal. Really great musician, and his band is really phenomenal too. We'll also have our vinyl release at that show. So we're going to be announcing that soon. I guess right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's out there now. It's not a secret.
So hot.
Wow. So happy that CHUO is the platform on which you announce this.
So yeah, we finally received our LP, our vinyl, and it's all ready to go, and looks pretty good.
We're just finishing the packaging and whatnot, and we'll have them ready by the 30th. Yeah. And then we're playing the week after in Toronto at the Burdock, in a showcase with a bunch of other Ottawa musicians.
Yeah, it's Canadian Music Week.
Yeah, but it's with Ottawa Musicians Coalition.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they gave us the opportunity.
Yeah.
Ottawa musicians taking Toronto. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this new coalition of musicians that are people that are in the industry of music. So not just musicians. There's going to be also Fairfield Circuitries there. They make guitar pedals. They'll be showcased in there. There's different people's involved. Merganser's playing. Yao is also playing. A few other groups which I'm forgetting. Carolina Stratton.
She's the harmonica.
Yes, she's great too. Yeah. So there's a lot of different people that are involved in the industry here, not just as performers.
Like their version of Megaphono, a Toronto Megaphono.
Well, Canadian Music Week is a sort of a bigger showcase thing that.
Even bigger. Okay.
Kind of gives you I don't know of its size. I've actually never been. It's a showcase.
Yeah, we'll learn about it.
Yeah, for better or for worse. We're just happy to be there with other people that are like-minded or from this environment. It'll be nice to kind of be supporting that.
And then there's the Dragon Boat Festival towards the end of June.
Right. Yeah.
So that's another
fun.
opportunity in the outdoors. I presume
Yeah.
the great outdoors.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm
that's
really
good.
bad at volleyball.
Well,
It's at a beach, right?
Yeah, it is at a beach.
yeah.
Oh my God, we were wrong all this time. There is no such thing as unadulterated love. Damn, I'm weaker than I thought. Some will find what is right, a silver line. Yarn at your feet, stitching in the dark. Sparks, but one day we'll be stars. Forgiveness is hard to hold, precious as gold. Spend it all on me, what a choice. Frugal in your eyes, but I feel rich. 1 year's time flew right by. Oh, careful eyes, happy to have seen it. But how can you stand strong? Well, I can't help but fall. Lust or fright, both will drive. A heart of gold, mad showing teeth, thirsty in the flood. Drink no more than enough. When I wake up in bed dressed as someone else, I see on my face that hurt love never holds. A mark of shame, a scar in between my eyes. To heal under the sun, young skin never falls. Forgiveness is hard to hold, precious as gold. Spend it all on me, what a choice. Frugal in your eyes, but I feel rich.
So nice. That's really awesome. I'm just kind of speechless here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been great to have you come in. Really appreciate your being here and performing with us and having this conversation. So I wish you all the best, continued success
Thank you very much.
with the path you're on. And we hope to see you at some of the shows or come back to the station at some point. So
Thank you.
looking forward to that third album. And thank you so much for
It's a
being
lot of
here.
fun.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.